You nailed it, Adidas. Just a thin layer of continental rubber. I love it. Oh, one other. There we go, everybody. The Adidas Adios Pro 3 testing is done. The next carbon fiber plate or rods. That's right. We got rods in the Adios Pro 3. There they are, shining through that outsole, everybody. Isn't it amazing? Actually, it's pretty cool. Adidas puts the stack height in. There's the stack height on your screen. All right, 39 in the heel. They're saying 39.5 in the heel, 33 in the forefoot for basically that 6mm drop. But shoes are getting wild. I'll talk about this outsole and midsole here in 1 second. Everyone definitely falling into that maximalist category. Women's size, unisex sizing. There's the weight on your screen in my size. I think we're coming out at about 7.1 ounces. Oh, this scale is saying 6.9. That's good. But I'm actually going to stick with, on the other scale, I was getting 7.1. So there is my score for the weight. If you can keep it in the 6s in my size for a carbon fiber plate race, and by the way, it is definitely a racing shoe, as most of you know. Wow, no geese. It is not twisting very much through the twist test. It's actually, I'd say, fairly rigid, kind of the opposite of loosey goosey. Upper single layer cellar mesh, not a gusseted tongue. All right, they definitely added some padding there in the heel counter. All right, good work there, Adidas. Now, the cellar mesh, I don't know if you've experienced this with Adidas, but feels, it's not forming to the top of my foot incredibly well. And I've said this before in the past about Adidas shoes, and it's fine. Like, I think what I understand about Adidas is that they're using recycled plastic in their uppers, which is great. However, it feels like plastic to the touch, to the lockdown, and it's not screaming comfort is what I'm trying to say. And it does impact the overall scores for the upper and the lockdown. All right, especially since the tongue, all right, there's the tongue, very thin tongue. Now for racing, I would never do like long runs or workouts in the shoe with this tongue. One race, one marathon, I would, okay? Just want to make that clear. But as far as like hard workouts on a regular basis or long runs, 22, 23, 24-mile long runs, I felt the laces on the top of my foot, and it might be my personal anatomical makeup for my feet, but just keep that in mind. It's a very, very thin tongue. Different than different than the Endorphin Pro 3, different than whatever, even the Asics Metaspeed Sky Plus as of late. All right, there you have it. Light Strike Pro through the midsole. All right, 2 layers of resilient Light Strike Pro foaming, creating that 39 and 33 for the stack height. All right, and yes, those carbon rod. Let's do the, whoa. All right, I don't know. Don't get, you might call me crazy, but I mean, we're talking hot, like rigid, and like, if I push any harder, I'm afraid I'm gonna snap it. Like, I'm putting a lot of force into that, and it is barely bending. Wow. All right, let's do the, hold on, where is the durometer? Let's do the durometer. I'm gonna go with like 40. All right, let's just see here. 41, 42, that's pretty good. Here's my ride and energy return score along with the overall score. It's just, it's not getting a better score because it just feels a little too rigid for my personal biomechanics. But again, this is where it's key to think about your foot strike and your gait cycle. What do you prefer? Do you prefer a little softer? Do you prefer a little more firm? That's where you just have to ask yourself before you start hitting order on your screen. Outsole continental rubber, perfect. You nailed it, Adidas. Just a thin layer of continental rubber. I love it. Oh, one other point about the midsole I just remembered is that, see this right here? I'm pointing to it right there. I guess to save weight, but I'm not sure. But it's a little chunk of midsole that's missing. And I gotta say, Adidas, you really threw me for a loop, because in the first run, and even the second run, like, it felt like I was collapsing to the right and to the left through my foot strike. See that there? Can you see it? It's like a chunk of midsole that's missing. That's another reason that the midsole score was not a little better. I'm not sure why they did that. If they did it, I don't know. Actually, if you know, let us know in the comments. But it's just a little detail to be aware of. It felt like I was rolling to the right or rolling to the left a little too much. Fit, true to size, standard, comfort. It's not as comfortable as other shoes marathon carbon fiber plate shoes that I've tested as of late. Definitely not as comfortable as the Endorphin Pro 3. Positives and drawback. Positive, I'm going to go breathability through the toe box. Actually, the entire upper, very breathable. Hot temperatures, humid temperatures, it's definitely a breathable upper, no doubt. Drawback is that feeling. It really is this little piece of midsole that's missing. I don't know if it's necessary, and I don't know why they did that. If it's for the weight reduction, I'm not sure. Durability 400 plus, all right. I would not be using it for long runs because it's too rigid, but if I was gonna take it past, let's say, 50 miles into the 70, 80 mile range, up tempo middle distance days. But again, it's just a little too much understep. Like I need a little more forgiveness through the foot strike. All right, that's where I'm at with it. All right, price point $250. Oh, now again, I mentioned this a couple days ago, but $250 was a pretty standard price point in 2019. Well, okay, yeah, 2019 and 2020, $250. That's pretty standard. But then, I don't know if you remember, prices started to drop. Mostly Nike set the bar with a 4% and the next percent and the next percent too. They set that price point in that $250 range. But then and this is where the competition is just beautiful in the pricing game for carbon fiber plate marathon racing shoes. Prices started to drop, and I think we hit 200. Was it what was the shoe that was it might have been the Adios Pro 1? What shoe? Or might have been the Hoka Carbon X? Anyway, prices came down from that 250 point. So at this point in the game in 2022, $250 is a little steep, all right? You want to be at least much closer to 225. And in an ideal world, 210, 200. But so 250, I'm not too excited about that price point. Now, in 2022. 2020 would have been standard, but now, not so much. Other shoes to buy on your screen. I'm just putting one. I would buy the Endorphin Pro 3. I really would. Much more enjoyable, more forgiving through the foot strike. Saucony Endorphin Pro 3. Adidas Adios Pro 3. Talk about a tongue twister. Adidas Adios Pro 3. Shoe quick specs on your screen. Soak it in, everybody, one more time. 39 and 33. All right, single layer Cellar Mesh Light Strike Pro midsole, and that $250 price point. Wah, 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 wah. Full review score. The SL20.2, or is it 0.3? Oh my goodness. Everyone thinks I don't like Adidas. Listen, Adidas, I love you. I give good scores out. Remember, the Adidas, I'll try to link to it down below in the description. The Adidas SL20, I think it was the 0.3 actually, about 6 months ago at this point. It got a good score. Also, the Adidas Adistar. I got nothing against Adidas, Adidas, everybody over in Deutschland, I love ya. That's where Adidas is based. But for this guy, there's just, and listen. It's not about the shoe. It's about the athlete. You guys know that. Nike, Adidas. They have the best, they have the most money, so they can sign contracts with the fastest runners in the world, which is why these shoes are showing up in world records. It's not because of the shoe, just breaking it to you right now. It's because of the athletes. So all the credit to the athletes, whether you run for Nike or run for Adidas, it doesn't matter. It's like you guys are putting in the work, you have the talent level, you guys are setting the world records, the course records, winning the prize money. The shoes, it's really not about the shoes. Now, Adidas and Nike versus Hoka. I love you, Hoka, but Hoka I feel like is a little bit still behind the game when it comes to carbon fiber plates. All right, I'll stop there. Comment of the day, question of the day, Bradley Wall. Here you go. Pick these up this summer in Las Vegas. I think talking about the Adios Pro 2. The store on the strip had them for $200, but then I got a 30% teacher discount, bringing them down to $140. Couldn't pass them up. Tip, don't give up on them right away. They took me a couple of long runs to break them. And Bradley, thank you for the insight on not giving up on Adidas and the carbon rods, because at this point they do still feel pretty stiff through that foot strike. Question of the day, curveballs. Living on this earth is all about dealing with curveballs and valleys. So, question of the day, what are some failures that you've experienced in your professional life? If you care to share and how you overcame those failures, we'd be interested to hear them down below in the comments. Sound good? Thanks for opening up. That's what we do on this channel, just being raw, being real, trying to be transparent, and here we go. Adidas Adios Pro 3 in the books. We'll toss it to the carbon fiber plate running shoe playlist right there. Adidas is now going to show up there. All right, right there. Okay, seek beauty, work hard, and love each other. See you tomorrow.